Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today I'm going to share with you my updated fragrance wish list. And yes, I already did a video on my wish list a few months ago, but as you know, our wish lists change all the time and there have been very significant changes to mine, and so I wanted to share with you those changes. And I think I'm going to make this a recurring series on my channel. Anytime that I have significant changes to my wish list, I'm going to share them with you. Now, my current wish list is slightly out of hand. It is very long and there are a lot of very expensive fragrances on it. But let's go through it and see what I have there. These are in no particular order, and some of them I have sampled and some of them I just heard about, read about, researched, but haven't actually tried myself. So if any of you have any experiences with the fragrances that I'm going to mention, if you have them, if you've tried them, definitely share with me your opinions in the comments. This will be extremely helpful. Okay, let's go through the list. And like I said, the list is very long, so I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. The first fragrance on the list is from Nihilo, and this is Lost in Paradise. Now, I've shared with you a sample from this house that I've been trying, I think in my either June or July favorites, and it was Fleur Narcotique. And I told you that it's a beautiful floral fragrance, very beautiful, but it has pretty poor performance, and this house is extremely expensive. Now, since filming that video, I had a chance to sample or try another fragrance from this house, and that's Lost in Paradise. And it is somewhat similar to Fleur Narcotique. It is also a floral fragrance, but it is sweeter and I think it is stronger. The one time that I got to test it in the store, the lasting power was definitely better and it projected better. And in fact, I actually even like the scent better than Fleur Narcotique. So that's why I've put it on this list. This house is pretty much impossible to find for a reasonable price. So I don't think this is a purchase I will be making anytime soon, but you know, if I find it for a price that I think is appropriate, then I might purchase it because it's a very beautiful fragrance and I'm definitely very curious about this house. Second fragrance on the list is from the house of Oud and it's called What About Pop. Now, I've never heard about this fragrance, but when I did a video where I shared with you Paco Rabanne Pure Access when a haul where I purchased this fragrance, and I voiced my kind of disappointment that I couldn't smell the note of popcorn. There were a few people in the comments who suggested trying What About Pop from the house of Oud because they said it has a beautiful note of popcorn. So in addition to popcorn, there's caramel, vanilla, and floral notes. I have never tried this fragrance. I'm having a hard time even finding it anywhere where I can order. So again, I don't know anything about it other than that it has the note of popcorn, which I'm really looking for in a fragrance. So we'll see, but I'm definitely interested in trying this one. Next two on my list are actually from the same house, and that's the house of Micallef. The first one I have is called Ananda Dolce, and this one has the notes of almond, tonka, peach, musk, and from what I hear, it's supposed to be kind of a sweet, gourmandy, nutty type of fragrance. I've never tried it myself, but again, it's a house that I'm interested in exploring more, so I'm definitely really curious about this one. And the second one is the one that I definitely heard about from a number of people. The fragrance is called Note Vanille. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but obviously this is a vanilla fragrance. And as we all know, I'm obsessed with vanilla fragrances. And I heard a couple of people talking about it in recent times. Of course, Tara from Olfacto Files talked about it. And then more recently, Dee from Beauty Medic talked about it as well. And so I'm very curious about this one. The problem is the only place that I found this is Lucky Scent, which is a US website. And to begin with, the fragrance is quite expensive, but shipping charges to Canada are completely outrageous, and I'm just not willing to pay those shipping charges. So if I find this fragrance for a reasonable price, or at least if I find this fragrance where I don't have to pay these crazy shipping charges, then I'm definitely going to purchase, because I would say this one is very, very high on my wish list. Next one on my list is from Jean Paul Gaultier, and it is So Scandal. Now, I have Scandal à Paris, which I love. I've also sampled the original Scandal, which I also liked very much. And so that makes me curious about So Scandal. Now, this one has, it has raspberry, milk, it has white florals. And more specifically, it has tuberose. And of course, it's the note of tuberose that really worries me and scares me, because I'm not friends with tuberose. And so I'm very nervous about buying this fragrance blindly. And I think with this one, I'm gonna have to sample it first before I purchase it, just because that note of tuberose makes me very, very nervous. And I'm afraid that it might bother me in this fragrance. Next one is from a house of BDK Parfums, and it's called Passa Soir, maybe. Of course, as you see, I'm putting up pictures of full bottles for all of these fragrances, and I will write down the names in the description bar as always. Now, this fragrance I actually sampled. I have a little tiny sample which came to me in one of my orders from somewhere. So the notes in here are ginger, quince, white flowers, patchouli, and mandarin. And this is a stunning, fruity fragrance to me. I know there are some white florals in here, but I can't say that I can really smell white florals. To me, it's just beautiful, sweet fruits. It's like a sweet fruit explosion. Maybe there is a little bit of ginger. Maybe there is some mandarin that gives it a bit of a citrusy punch. I'm not sure, but it is stunning, stunning fragrance. Again, the issue is that, I prefer buying my fragrances on discounter sites, and I have never seen BDK Parfums on any of the discounter sites, and obviously it's a very pricey house. I can find this fragrance for a full price, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to purchase it at this point, especially because I think that this one is more of a spring summery kind of scent. So I don't think I will be purchasing it now, but it's very possible that next spring or summer this will be added to my collection. We will see. Next one is a fragrance that has been kind of haunting me for a while. And again, I have a sample of it, so I know exactly how it smells. And this is from Idolo. It's called Love and Crime. This is a stunning gourmand scent. It has sugar, vanilla, cacao, mandarin. Essentially, this is extremely, extremely similar to Lyra. There are some small nuances that are different, but overall, it is quite similar. In Lyra, there is, I think, blood orange, but I've mentioned several times that I smell more lemon than orange. And in this one, there is mandarin, and I actually do smell mandarin. I would say this is probably the biggest difference. Everything else is extremely, extremely similar. It is a stunning fragrance, but as you can imagine, my dilemma with this one is that it is so similar to Lyra, which I already have. So do I need two fragrances that smell very similar? No. But do I want it in my collection? Yes, very much. And I've been trying to resist purchasing it, and I've succeeded so far, and I hope I will continue to succeed, but I'm honestly not sure, because those types of fragrances are my absolute favorites. I just love it. It is stunning. And so I am so tempted to purchase it, but I'm trying to be a good girl and not do it. We will see what happens with this one eventually. Okay, next I have several fragrances on my list that kind of have the same theme running through them. And that theme is a particular note. It's a note that I never used to like, and in fact, I avoided most of the fragrances that had this note. But in recent times, I've really become kind of fond of this note and really starting to really enjoy it in my fragrances and trying to explore more fragrances that have this note. The note I'm talking about is tobacco. Now, I still don't like every kind of tobacco. If it's a really strong in your face kind of masculine smelling tobacco, I don't like it. But when it's tobacco mixed with something sweet, then I'm really enjoying those types of scents. And so the next two fragrances on my list have tobacco in them, tobacco mixed with sweetness. So the first one is from Serge Lutens, and it's Chergui. This is kind of a classic, I think. Many people have it, many people have tried it, many have talked about it. So in addition to tobacco, it has honey, incense, sandalwood, and rose. My problem is I've never tried this fragrance, and Serge Lutens, in my opinion, is kind of known for having complex and sometimes strange fragrances, and there's always a risk buying it blindly. Even though when I look at the notes, I think this should be great, I should like it, but you never know with his fragrances. So I'm hesitating to purchase it because I'm just not sure if I'm going to like it. Now, second fragrance with tobacco that's on my list is from Parfums de Marly, and it's Herod. And this is actually from their men's line, or marketed towards men. Of course, anyone can wear it. And Herod, in addition to tobacco, has vanilla, cinnamon, incense. So you can see right away that actually there are a lot of similarities in the note breakdown between Chergui and Herod. Again, you have this tobacco with some sweetness, with spices, with incense. Another fragrance that I haven't tried. So I'm really curious about it. I'm not sure if I'm ready to buy it blindly. We will see, but I'm definitely interested in exploring those types of scents more. And actually, you will see a little bit further as I go into my wish list. There's actually another fragrance with a similar vibe going through it. So I will tell you when we get to it. Next one on my list is from the house of Xerjoff, and it's called Cruz del Sur 2. I've never tried it, but from what I understand, this is supposed to be kind of incredibly juicy, fruity, sweet type of fragrance. I think it has a very strong note of mango in it. There are also a lot of other fruits. There is pineapple, I think there are dried fruits, there might be guava or passion fruit, I can't remember. There's probably musk in it. So again, I've never tried it, but it sounds like something I should love. It is another one of, I think, fragrances that are more suitable towards spring and summer. So now is definitely not the time to try it, but I think it is very possible that, again, next year, sometime in the spring, this might be added to my collection. This sounds like something I should really love. Next one is very simple one, the one that most of you know, and this is Tom Ford Noir Parfum. As you know, I have a small spray bottle of Noir Extreme, which is a male version of a very similar fragrance, and I really enjoy it, and I really want to have a full bottle. And because I have the small spray of Noir Extreme, I think I'm going to go with a full bottle of Noir Parfum. This is, of course, your spicy warm vanilla, and it has the note of coffee, which is Indian ice cream, added to it. Really interesting and beautiful fragrance, especially for the colder months. So I can find it easily. It is available on many discounter websites. I just haven't purchased it yet, but it is definitely on my wish list, and most likely it will be purchased sometime soon. Next is a house that I've never tried anything from, but again, I've been really curious about it lately. And I'm interested in two fragrances from this house, and I actually have samples of these fragrances, so I have tried them and I know that I like them. Now, the house I'm talking about is Initio Perfumes, and the first fragrance from this house that I'm interested in is Atomic Rose. So obviously this fragrance is about rose. In addition, there is vanilla, bergamot, amber, pink pepper. And when I read a lot of the reviews about this fragrance, I saw many people comparing it to Delina. I have Delina, and in my opinion, it is not similar to Delina. However, I think it is extremely similar to Delina Exclusive. I don't have a full bottle of Exclusive, but I do have a sample. I've tried it, and to me, this is very, very close to Exclusive. So Delina Exclusive is something that I've been considering purchasing for a long time because I really enjoy the scent, but for some reason I never did. And I think the price for Delina Exclusive and for Initio, I think they're very similar on discounter side. So most likely, if I will be purchasing one of these two, I'm gonna go with Atomic Rose just to experience a new house. But these two are definitely extremely, extremely similar in my opinion. Now, second one from this house is another one of those fragrances that has tobacco note running through it, and it is called Side Effect. So in addition to tobacco, there is vanilla, rum, cinnamon. So again, you have this sweet, spicy, boozy vanilla with some tobacco smoke added in. This is a stunning, stunning fragrance. It is beautiful. It is interesting. It is powerful. It is definitely very much unisex. I really, really like this one. And I'm probably interested in this one a little bit more than in Atomic Rose, just because I think this one is just slightly more interesting fragrance. And so most likely what's going to happen is that I'm going to purchase one of the three tobacco fragrances that I mentioned, either Side Effect or Parfums de Marly Herod or Serge Lutens Chergui. I don't think I will be purchasing all three or even two because I feel like all of them have a similar type of vibe. Which one I'm gonna go with, I don't know. I really need to give it some thought and see what I can find. But definitely one of those will be added to my collection. Next, I wanna talk about an overall house. And it's a house that I don't hear anyone in North America talk about. This is a house, I think, from Dubai, and it's called Attar Collection. So in Eastern Europe, this is a very, very popular house, and a lot of people talk about their fragrances and own their fragrances. And I've been kind of researching this house a little bit, and obviously I haven't tried anything from it, but when I look at the note breakdowns and when I look at the descriptions of these fragrances, I want to try them so badly. They seem like my type of fragrances completely. So I'm not going to talk about the whole house, but I'm going to briefly mention my top 3 picks from this house that I really want to try. The first one is called Al Rayhan, and please forgive me if I mispronounce these names. And this fragrance has a lot of fruits, it has a lot of sweet notes. There is a huge note breakdown. There are a lot of notes in this one. There are some floral notes, and a lot of the reviewers on Fragrantica say that this is very similar to Byretto's Bal d'Afrique. I have no idea. I've never tried anything from Byretto, but when I look at these notes, they sound absolutely amazing, and I'm so curious to try this fragrance. The next one is called Hayati, and this one has ice cream, whipped cream, fruity notes. I mean, when you look at the notes, I don't know, it makes my mouth water. It just sounds so absolutely delicious, and as you know, I love gourmand types of scents. So definitely very curious about this one. And my third one that I really want to try is called Khaltat Night, and this is kind of a slightly deeper type of scent. It has cinnamon, vanilla, cherry, patchouli, musk. So it's kind of, you know, cherry with vanilla with some spices. That's kind of how I imagine this scent, and that's how it is described. So this house interests me tremendously, and there are quite a few fragrances from this house that interest me. The problem is I can't find it anywhere, and I have searched. I can purchase them from their website, but they are located in Dubai, and I'm kind of a little worried about buying from there because I don't know how long shipping will take, especially in the times we live in today. Second of all, shipping from overseas to Canada can be extremely expensive because Canada charges outrageous duties. And, you know, if I'm charged duties on these, I will be paying almost double the price, which obviously I can't do, I don't want to do. So I'm not quite ready to purchase from their website, but I'm going to continue searching, and if I find them somewhere else, I think I'm definitely going to purchase at least something from this house because, again, fragrances sound very, very interesting. And so that brings us to the last one on my list. And this is kind of a last minute addition. And this comes from a video that I watched on Amina's channel, Experiencing Fragrances with Amina, where she did a collab with Ollie's mom, and they were testing each other's fragrances. And this one is from Jovoy, and it's called Remember Me. And when Amina was talking about this fragrance, she kind of made a comparison to Nishani Ani. She said that they were kind of going in the same direction. And as you know, Ani is one of my all-time favorite fragrances, and so that really piqued my interest. And when I look at the notes, I can really understand why she made the comparison, because the notes in here are milk, vanilla, tea, ginger, citrus notes. So you get that kind of green, milky vanilla, which is exactly how I would describe Ani as well. So I'm very, very curious about this one. Like I said, it's a late addition to the list, so I really need to do a bit more research about it, but it kind of got me really, really curious. And the House of Jovoy, I was already interested in because I obviously have heard about it, but I've never tried anything from them, and this sounds very interesting. In fact, I think if I remember correctly, this fragrance, Remember Me, was created by the same person that created Nishani Ani. I think Cecile Zarokian, if I remember her name correctly. So again, that kind of tells you that there could be similarities between the two. Okay, that's it. We've made it to the end of the list. I know I went kind of very quickly over everything, but as you can see, the list is very long, and I wanted to keep this video to manageable time. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching it. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video, and also share with me what fragrances do you have on your wish list. Again, thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.